Alright, so today we are going to rewrite expressions using the distributive property, and then we're going to provide proof. So, if you understood the last lesson, this should be pretty easy. So remember, we have two terms, and we're multiplying by two more terms. So, x times x. And we get x squared. Let me write that a little bigger. X squared. And then we do x times positive 2. So positive times x times 2, which is a positive times a positive is a positive 2x plus 2x. And then we have a positive 3 times x, which we know is just positive 3x. Then we have a positive 3 times positive 2. Positive times positive is a positive 6. Remember that we can combine the plus 2x and the plus 3x to get plus 5x. And then we bring this down, and we bring this down. And this is our simplified expression. So remember that this expression, and this expression are equivalent. They just look different. In reality, though, we care about this first one and we care about this last one. So the expressions, parentheses, x plus 3 times, parentheses, x plus 2, and this one right here, x squared plus 5x plus 6 are equivalent. They just look different, per usual. So let's choose a number. I'm going to make x equal to 4. So we have x plus 3 times x plus 2. That should be equivalent to x squared plus 5x plus 6. Remember that for x we are going to put 4. So instead of x plus 3, it's going to say 4 plus 3. Instead of x plus 2, it's going to say 4 plus 2, because we substituted. So remember, we always do order of operations, so we look inside of parentheses. Inside is 4 plus 3 is 7. We keep the parentheses because we will multiply. Times 4 plus 2. We're done with that set, but we have another set of parentheses. So 7 times 6, and we get 42. Alright, so that should be the same as 4 squared plus 5 times 4 plus 6. Okay, so everything inside of parentheses is done. Like there's nothing to do here, there's nothing to do here. We have exponents right here. Remember, this is not 8. This is not 4 times 2. This is 4 times 4 is 16. Plus 5 times 4 plus 6. So we're done with the parentheses inside. We're done with the exponents. Now we're going to multiply and divide from left to right. So a positive times a positive is a positive 20. 16 plus 20 plus 6. 16 plus 20 is 36, and 36 plus 6 is 42. Alright, so let's try our next one. Oh, before I forget, or before I move on. Okay, so let's try this next one. Remember that we have two terms times two terms. 4x times negative x. 4x times negative x. And then we have 4x times positive 2. 4x times positive 2. Negative 1 times negative x. And then we have negative 1 times positive 2. Now, to make things easier, remember that if there's not a coefficient, if you don't see a number here, that's a negative 1. So I'm going to go here, put the 1. Go here, put the 1. Oh, put the 1. Make that a little nicer. Okay. So a positive times a negative is a negative. I want to leave some space. The negative. 4 times 1 is 4. X times x is x squared. Positive times a positive is a positive. 4 times 2 is 8x. A negative times a negative is a positive. You know, I want to write it right here. A positive 1 times 1 is 1x. And a negative times a positive is a negative. 1 times 2 is 2. Alright, so remember, we're going to combine these two right here. Because we don't have any more x to the second powers, so we just bring it down. Positive 8x, positive 1x gives us positive 9x. And then we just bring it down, minus 2. Alright, so remember this expression, and this expression are equivalent. They just look different. But we care about the first one and the last one. The expression's 4x minus 1 times negative x plus 2 and negative 4x squared plus 9x minus 2, this one and this one, are equivalent. They just look different. Alright, so for this one, I want to substitute in positive 3. So, if you don't mind, I'm just going to substitute it in. Instead of writing 4 times x, I'm going to put 4 times 3. Minus 1 times, remember, I want to write that 1 there. I want to write that 1 right there. Times 3, negative 1 times 3, plus 2. So, inside parentheses, 4 times 3 is 12. I know that over here I'm going to do that anyways. So a negative times a positive is a negative. Alright, so I'm not done with this set of parentheses, and I'm not done with this set of parentheses. Remember that I can't drop the parentheses because I have not multiplied, which is not, it's not there yet. 12 minus 1 is 11 times negative 3 plus 2. There's more negatives. There's one more negative. 11 times negative 1 is negative 11. Alright, so let's, instead of writing this whole thing out, or this whole thing out, I'm just going to substitute. Negative 4 times 3 squared plus 9 times 3 minus 2. Okay, so remember, we never forget PEMDAS. Everything in parentheses is done. Everything in there is done. We have an exponent. Negative 4 times 9 plus 9 times 3 minus 2. You know what? I don't know why I wrote this parenthesis over here earlier. You can get rid of that. Maybe I ought to have it. Okay, so we did our exponent. We're going to multiply and divide from left to right. Negative 4 times 9 is negative 36, because a negative times a positive is negative. A positive times a positive is a positive 27. Okay, so positive 27, negative 36. There, 27 go away. There's 9 left. There's 9 negatives left. And negative 9 minus 2 is negative 11. So these are, in fact, equivalent. Thank you.